art and culture, and startups. We will hear them share about their journey, life, and their astounding achievements. A very warm welcome to all our panelists and happy Women's Day. I'm Barnali and this is Shubho. We would like to show you a short film on Nari Shakti in New India. Can we have the film, please? Um, we'll come back to the film later. So it is my pleasure to invite Abhishek Singh. He is CEO MIGA, CEO National E-Governance Division, and MD and CEO Digital India Corporation to give his opening remarks and set the context for the discussion that will follow. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Barnali and Shubho. And it's indeed a pleasure to be hosting the eminent women who we see as session. The first and foremost, wish all of you and all the viewers here a very happy International Women's Day. It's indeed a pleasure and joy to know that we are interacting with such accomplished women from diverse walks of life on this MyGov Samvad today. As we have seen, like in the last few years, women are at the forefront at in almost every field that we can imagine. And very often we think that that the journey of women is limited to reading news about women topping class 10th and 12th boards. But today we are happy and we are privileged as a nation, world's top nations with the maximum number of women scientists who are building rockets, who are designing missiles, who are leading missions to the moon and to the Mars. We have women in technology. We have two accomplished technologists here today with us, Dr. Rohini Srivatsa, Ms. Usha Saxena, and in almost every tech firm in India, we see women are at the forefront in leading technology projects. When it comes to the field of sports, we find that women are the ones who have like ended the dry run that we have had in the Olympics. We have some of the winners here today from the Olympics, Vinesh Fogel, Avni Lakhera, and all of them have been like leading us, showing to the nation that yes, India is a sporting nation and we can do that. And only the other day I was seeing how our Indian women's cricket team is achieving great results. We have had women champions in the field of badminton. We have had women champions in the field of tennis, and we also see women in almost every field that we can imagine of. We have some authors here present today. Maitri is here, and Poonam Kaul, who has been a great brand leader, who has been assisting us with regard to our various COVID-19 campaigns. And we find that in fact, much ahead of men also, if we can do that. In fact, I was just having a discussion with our women employees in EGD, MyGov, and DIC. And I was surprised to see that we have more than 100 of them today present in that hall. And the choice of the conference hall was wrong because we could not even have enough seats for them. But it was a joyous feeling that, yes, we are, number one, we are inclusive when we do our hiring for our various roles. And number two, that we have also got people back coming to the offices. We've also seen like flying Rafale planes. We have seen women leading in 26 January parades. And yesterday, when PM was interacting with the winners of the Nari Shakti Awards, those visuals also saw like how we have accomplished leaders from almost every field. And in spite, we have seen many of them, in spite of battling hardships, in spite of battling handicaps, how they have fought against all odds and achieved what they have done so. So what I would do is that today, since we have so many accomplished leaders, I would not speak for long and would love to hear their stories and in what way they've been able to achieve what they have been, and in what ways we can further join them, learn from them, and ensure that we inspire more and more women across the country. And as we talk, we have got some of the winners of the Shri Shakti Challenge joining in. I can see Jaya Parashar, I can see Gayatri Yella. So welcome you all for this interaction. And I'm sure today we will be hearing many such stories which we can use in the days to come to inspire many more. To wish you everyone again a very happy International Women's Day, and look forward to listening to your stories and seeing in what ways we can take this further. So thank you and congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, be a technical glitch with the film. I promise we'll play that film today. Uh, we have a galaxy of women achievers from many fields, as I mentioned. There is technology, there's sports, there's art and culture, and startups. We will start with sports and we will hear from ladies who have brought much to our recently. So we have Bhavina Patel, who's an Indian para athlete and table tennis player from Mehsana, Gujarat. With her splendid performance, she won a silver medal in Class 4 table tennis at the 2020 Summer Paralympics in Tokyo. We have Ekta Bhyan, who has represented India on several occasions in women's club and discus throw, be it the Tokyo Paralympics or winning gold in Asian Para Games. She continues to make India proud. Avni Lakhera is not only the first Indian woman to win a Paralympic gold, she is also the first Indian to win multiple medals in a single Paralympic Games, showing her eagle vision in rifle shooting. And we have Dinesh Phogat, who was the first Indian woman wrestler to win gold in both Commonwealth and Asian Games. She comes from a successful family of wrestlers, and her cousins are all international wrestlers and Commonwealth Games medalists as well. So there's a common question to everybody, and everyone, all the sportswomen can answer one by one. What advice would you give to the young women who are wanting to make a career in a previously male dominated area like sports, who are just starting out? Can we have Bhavina Patel?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, happy Women's Day.
First of all, congratulations. We're so honored to have you and others with us. Namaste.
Thank you so much.
Happy Women's Day.
Namaste. Namaste. हैप्पी वुमेन्स डे
बताइए मैम
ये बताते हुए मुझे बहुत ये बताते हुए मुझे बहुत ही खुशी हो रही है कि ये आज जो स्पेशल डे है वुमेन्स के लिए और आप सबसे मिलने का मौका मिल रहा है उसके लिए मैं आप सभी को थैंक्स कहना चाहती हूँ क्योंकि ये बहुत ही अच्छा और बड़ा मौका होता है कि सबसे मिलना और सबसे बातें करना तो ये ऑर्गेनाइज करने के लिए फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू सो मच और वुमेन्स की बात करूं तो वुमेन्स क्या नहीं है वो बताना बहुत ही मुश्किल है क्योंकि वुमेन्स वो है नारी शक्ति वो है जो हर चीज में आगे है हर फील्ड में आगे है वो क्या नहीं कर सकती है वो क्वेश्चन मार्क कहीं होता ही नहीं है उनकी लाइफ में सारी चीजें ही तो वो कर सकती है आज हमारे देश में वुमेन्स को इतना मतलब बढ़ावा दिया जा रहा है उनकी चीजें सोची जा रही है हमारे जो पीएम सर है वो भी वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट के लिए बहुत सारी चीजें कर रहे हैं बेटी बढ़ाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ जैसी कैंपेन भी वो चला रहे हैं तो वजह से बहुत सारी चीजों पे चेंजेस आ रहे हैं वुमेन्स अपना सिर ऊपर करके अभी बहुत अलग अलग डिफरेंट फील्ड में वो आगे बढ़ रही है अपना नाम ऊपर तक लेके जा रही है और अभी तो ये बताऊं कि इस बार पहली बार हुआ कि ओलंपिक्स और पैरालंपिक्स में वुमेन्स ने भी अच्छी से ट्रेनिंग करके हमारे देश का झंडा ऊपर किया है तो और उसमें अच्छे से मेडल्स लेके आए हैं और पैरालंपिक्स की खास करके बात करूं तो वो पहली वुमन ऐसी थी जिन्होंने मतलब मैं डॉक्टर दीपा मलिक जी की बात कर रही हूँ क्योंकि उन्होंने ही पैरालंपिक्स में पहला मेडल वो जीत के आई थी और ये दूसरा मेडल मेरा है कि जो पैरालंपिक्स में जो टोक्यो 2020 में जो मेडल का जो स्टार्टिंग किया था से हुआ था तो बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जो मतलब आज कहने का मन कर रहा है लेकिन आई थिंक ज्यादा बात मैं अकेली नहीं कर पाऊंगी क्योंकि हम सबको ही सुनना है तो मतलब एक ही चीज मैं खास करके बोलना चाहती हूँ आज कि नारी चाहे तो सब कुछ कर सकती है नारी चाहे तो दुनिया को उलट फुलट कर सकती है नारी चाहे तो घर को संभाल भी सकती है और बिगाड़ भी सकती है नारी में इतनी शक्तियां है मैं सबको एक ही बात कहना चाहती हूँ कि अपने अंदर जो टैलेंट पड़ा है उसको समझनी शक्ति का सही जगह पे उपयोग कीजिए, सही जगह पे उसको यूज कीजिए, ताकि हर एक लोगों को पता चले कि नारी क्या है। और मैं तो ये भी बोलना चाहती हूँ कि अब तो तू अपनी शक्ति को पहचान। अब तो लोग लेते हैं कृष्ण से पहले राधा का नाम। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. दिनेश जी, आपसे पूछना चाहेंगे कि आपको क्या लगता है, ये जो इतने विमेन एथलीट्स ने अभी इतना सक्सेस पाया है, बदला है टुवर्ड्स विमेन एथलीट्स? दिनेश जी।
जी,
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations, बहुत
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर। नमस्कार सभी को, और सभी को हैप्पी वुमेन इंटरनेशनल डे। और काफी अच्छा लगता है जब एक स्पेशल डे हम वुमेन्स के लिए सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है। वैसे तो हर एक दिन हम अपना मानते हैं, बट कभी कभी कोई स्पेशल डे होता है तो जो लोग हमें रिस्पेक्ट देते हैं एज ए वुमेन, वो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है कि हम लोगों ने वो अर्न किया है, वो हम डिजर्व एज ए वुमन, चाहे वो स्पोर्ट्स फील्ड में है या चाहे वो घर पे जो भी हमारे मम्मी लोग हैं वो काम कर रहे हैं। तो और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वुमन टू वुमन अगर लोग सपोर्ट करते हैं, जैसे एक वुमन दूसरी वुमन को सपोर्ट करती है, तो वो एक सबसे बड़ा मुझे लगता है अचीवमेंट है। और आज हमें ये सीखना चाहिए कि हम एक दूसरे को अगर सपोर्ट करेंगे तो डेफिनेटली काफी मेंस ऐसे हैं जो हमें चाहे हमारे फैमिली से लगा लीजिए या कोई और फील्ड में है, जो हमें सपोर्ट करते हैं। उनके बिना भी हम इतना आगे नहीं बढ़ पाते। लेकिन काफी कुछ चेंज हुआ है और उसमें हमारा कहीं ना कहीं योगदान है, हमारे स्पोर्ट्स का योगदान है। तो उसमें भी हमें काफी प्राउड होता है कि हमने किस इस चीज में कंट्रीब्यूशन दिया है कि हम आने वाली जनरेशन को प्राउड करें। जैसे जब मैंने रेसलिंग स्टार्ट किया तो मैं मिर्जा को देखती थी, मैरी कॉम का सुनती थी कि हाँ कोई बॉक्सर है ऐसे करके, तो हमने उनसे इंस्पिरेशन लिया है। तो मुझे कुछ ना कुछ मैंने थोड़ा बहुत एक दो मेडल ऐसे लिए हैं कि हाँ शायद आने वाली जनरेशन कहीं हमें भी देख के कुछ सीखेगी, जैसे हमने सीखा तो वो हमसे सीखे। तो वो एज ए वुमन रेसलर मेरे लिए काफी प्राउड होता है और मुझे काफी खुशी होती है कि भगवान ने मुझे एक वुमन बनाया है, मुझ में इतनी स्ट्रेंथ है कि हम हर एक बाधा को पार कर जाते हैं, चाहे वो स्पोर्ट्स फील्ड में आए चाहे पर्सनल लाइफ में आए। तो बस मुझे मतलब यही कहना है कि अपने आप पे विश्वास रखें। हम अगर अपने आप पे विश्वास रखेंगे तो डेफिनेटली जो भी लोग हमारे साथ में, जो मेंस हैं, जो फैमिली है, जो सोसाइटी है, जो कंट्री है, तो पूरा कंट्री आपको सपोर्ट करने के लिए आज रेडी है। और वो चेंज हो रहा है इतने सालों में। मैं क्योंकि जब मैंने रेसलिंग स्टार्ट किया था, अगर मैं उस टाइम को देखूं, आज का टाइम देखूं, तो बहुत लोग आपको सपोर्ट करने के लिए खड़े हैं। बस आपका अपना पहला कदम आगे रखने की जरूरत है। सो वो उस विश्वास के साथ में वो कदम रखिए और मेहनत करते रहिए हर फील्ड में जहाँ भी आप हैं। अगर आप अपना 100% देंगे तो डेफिनेटली हम सक्सेस होंगे। और हम ऐसे ही हर दिन वुमेन्स के लिए सेलिब्रेट करते रहें, वो मेरी एक इच्छा है। तो थैंक यू सभी
Thank
को।
you. Thank you.
वंस अगेन हैप्पी वुमेन्स डे।
You too. Thank you so much, Vinesh.
थैंक यू मैम।
गीता जी, आपसे पूछना चाहेंगे कि how much सपोर्ट आपको फैमिली से मिला है?
एकता बयान जी.
एकता बयान जी, मैम अनम्यूट कर लीजिए।
Can't hear you. Please unmute.
Ma'am, can you unmute, please?
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, and happy Women's Day.
Okay, ma'am, thanks a lot. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for inviting me here and giving me an opportunity to share stage with such eminent women. And happy Women's Day. It is a day for celebration. और जहाँ तक मैं मेरी जर्नी की बात करूँ तो I feel very fortunate the support I got from my family. जैसे बवीना ने और विनेश ने बताया कि स्पोर्ट्स हमारे लिए एक बहुत अच्छा माध्यम रहा। एक जो समाज में धारणा है, the perception we are having in our society towards women, that we can break that or we can change that. So with the support of the family, with the support of the government policies, इसमें मैं specially mention करना है कि being para athletes, we are treated at par by the government of India. I belong from Haryana, and it is one of the few states in our country who is having at par policy for para athletes and able-bodied athletes. सो अगर किसी भी समाज के एक ऐसे हिस्से का हमें उत्थान करना है, वी नीड टू फॉर द वेलफेयर ऑफ देम, we need a collective support. Yes, individual effort does matter, but we need a collective efforts from every section of the society, from the person herself, from the women herself, the family support, the support from the government. So it is because of the collective efforts we could have excel in our journey. And the best part is this, that women have infinite potential, infinite courage. We never know our physical and mental boundaries. It's just that at the time of need, we become that power, that Shakti that can overcome any kind of challenges. I was just 18 when I met with the accident, and I was an able-bodied person before that, and after that, I'm a wheelchair user person now. So I was completely unsure of my future, but with the support and having that faith in myself, with the hard work, though I'm clueless at this point of time, but I will focus on the things that are in my control. Instead of focusing what was lost, I started focusing on the things that are in my control. So you never know your powers until and unless you are in that situation. Just have faith in yourself and do the hard work. Nothing is there that is impossible for you. It may be distant for you, but it is not impossible for you. And I would like to end with the quote that life is not in our hands, but living is. No matter what is the situation of your life and how the challenges can impact you, but you can surely overcome that. Thank you.
Wonderful,
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Thank you so much. And now we'd like to go to Avni Lakhera. Avni ji, ye bataiye, what do you think is the future of Indian women in sports? And are you going to get us more medals?
Are you going to get us more medals अगला next Olympics में? Avni Lekhara.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. And happy International Women's Day to everyone, every beautiful and courageous women out there. Yeah, you know, over the past of years, we have seen women struggle a lot. For their, equal acknowledgement, equal opportunities, equal standings. But now I'm seeing, after getting equal opportunities, they are with their grit and with their determination, they are also showing the results. And as a person with disability, also being a woman, starting from my childhood, a lot of people used to say, oh, she's such a cute kid, what will happen in future? My parents, they used to, uh, tell them that, now let's start for a proper job for her and not think about, marriage or something like that sort of thing. But I just want to say that even though I am on a wheelchair, it does not define my talents, my desires to win, and my desires to do something that I want to do for myself and for my country. And I've been seeing a lot of encouragement. We have also seen a lot of women making history in the world of sports as well as other fields. And yeah, we have seen a lot of improvement in the attitude of people for women. But we should not respect women just because of their gender or just because of saying, because they have their identity, and they are on themselves to do for the better of the society and for the community. For all the budding para athletes who are women, or women sportswomen, I would want to say that just have faith in yourself, and believe that you can achieve something, and let your results do the talking. And you don't have to prove everyone that I'm a woman, I did that. Just do your results, do the talking. And I would definitely give my 100% for winning medals and laurels for my country in future, to show that being the first women gold medalist, we have more amazing athletes coming up and showcasing their talents on a global platform. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abdi, and more power to you. And don't go away, all these beautiful sportswomen, we will come back to you. Over to you, Shubho, for the tech section.
Okay, all right. We'll start the technology section, and it's a great pleasure to introduce Rohini Srivastava from Microsoft, and then Usha Saxena from NIC. So we'll start with Rohini ji. So Rohini Srivastava is the National Technology Officer at Microsoft. She's, I was just reading a bio, she's recognized amongst the 50 most influential AI leaders in India. And, she's been in seminars like these all over the world. And our question to her is related to technology. So technology had a reputation of being a boys only club till 10 years, 15 years back, till very recent. How much of that has changed? Like CEO sir was saying a little while ago, there are women, firing out rockets into space right now. How much of that has changed from a, men-dominated kind of field to now? What is happening right now? We'd love to hear you. Please go ahead, Rohini Srivastava.
Sure. Thank you so much. First of all, it is so wonderful to see all of these lovely faces, and really such an honor to be here. To your specific questions, I think the world of technology, if you go back several decades back, actually women were very much into computing. In fact, very early on, if you look at the space age, the term computer was typically for a woman. For some reason, we had a change of heart, and hopefully we are coming back to bring more women into technology. Today, from a numbers perspective, the number of women into technology are about 30% around that time, that range, but it should actually increase. And the reason I say that it should increase is, and it is in fact increasing, after the pandemic, for some time there was challenge for women to really manage the balance. But I'm seeing that the understanding, or rather the flexibility and inclusion that our new way of working is creating is encouraging more women to look at a full-time career, and particularly tech. The second thing I would say is technology is going to become, and we all are using technology right now to talk to each other. And we are in our daily lives using more technology, whether it is to conduct commerce or to look at healthcare. So there will be technology more and more in our lives. So women's ability to participate in the economy is also very directly linked to women's ability to participate in technology, because technology will become more and more integral part of the economy. So I think women have a big advantage in the world that we are entering right now with the new way of working. Women also bring different perspectives. Women lead differently. And if you go back into history and look at some of our greatest leaders from history, whether they were warriors or whether they were politicians, they have brought a different, more balanced, more inclusive approach to leadership. And today, in the world that we are in, I think that is one aspect of leadership that is seriously lacking. If you look at what the events are unfolding. So in short, I would say from my perspective, I really like the way Avni put it. I have not thought about me being a woman. I have thought about myself being a professional, being a technologist, and being constantly pushing to be on top of my game. And in that, I have not thought about I'm doing this because I'm a woman. I have brought my strengths as a woman to the ground of being a potentially good listener, of being a collaborator, being an empathetic person. But I have performed, and I would encourage everybody to do the same thing. Perform to the best you can be, not with the gender in mind. But the gender will play to your strengths. Use it as a strength, but take everybody along, because this gender inclusion, gender equality is actually not about women. It is about the entire economy. In fact, India is there's almost a 2% GDP growth India can have if we bring 50% of women into our economy. A huge number. And that is not nothing to do with something that was nice to do. It is a must. It is a very important imperative from a purely economic perspective. So I'll just stop with that. And it's wonderful to be here today.
Thank you, thank you. Very inspiring, and I love the way you came up with data to support what you were saying. Very impressed, and you're absolutely right. I mean, bring more women into the economy, watch your GDP grow. It's as simple as that. And it's not about equality, etc., and many other buzzwords, but there are hard practical benefits. So you said. So we'll come back to you, ma'am, and we'll move on to Usha Saxena. She's the Senior Technical Director of NIC. NIC is the National Informatics Center, as many of you would know. It's like the tech hub of the government. Okay. And Usha, ma'am, can you turn on your camera, please?
It is on?
Yes, we can see you now. Thank you. So, Usha Saxena ji is a tech pioneer in the government, and she joined the NIC way back in 1991 with, at the grassroots level as a officer. And since then, she's been involved in the development and implementation of, all e-governance systems that you see across the country. And she's got vast experience in design, development of various software integrated. I'll take about 10 minutes to read out her achievements. So I won't even try. So I'll quickly come to the question that we want to ask you. You played a very active leadership role at the highest levels in promoting technology at various levels of governance. Now, how important is technology for the women empowerment aspect of good governance? As we know, 50% of India's women now, it's the ratio has improved drastically in the last couple of years. So how important is technology to make women fully empowered? Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. Very good afternoon to all of you, and once again a very happy Women's Day to all. It's very encouraging to be sharing platform with all such eminent personalities. Thank you, NEGD, for organizing that. Coming to the technology perspective from women, when I completed my education and joined NIC, I was posted in the district, and there was nothing called technology in the district. No way. Only we had a very minimal network, and from there it started. What is technology? How to very senior officials from district magistrates and at the bureaucratic level to make a impact of technology onto it. Now today, if we see, technology is really inseparable from anybody's life. We need it for any walk of life, whether it is commerce, whether it is like this meeting, anything, like as ma'am said, Rohini ma'am said, it is inseparable. And I feel after listening to Ekta, Vinesh, and Avani, I think technology is the easiest line which women can take. No, you have to sit, study, and excel, and hard work, and not much of that kind of. And being in NIC is a premier IT support organization, as you know, under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. We have women leaders in many verticals. Our DG cybersecurity is headed by data center, artificial intelligence, and a very good opportunity for women growth we have seen from the day we joined. Always encouragement and all. And I have seen from my personal experiences, when a team leader is a woman, somehow I think maybe I'm prejudiced, she puts that extra to make that happen. When many times, you reach till 8.5, and you feel reaching 9.5 is very difficult. अब बहुत हो गया, इतना भी ठीक है, government में तो इतना चलता है, kind of. No, that the lady brings it out. And whole diverse workforce with different kind of people with them, they also put in their efforts into it, and it really makes it, we many times reach 10 also in that. So that is the kind of women leaders I have seen, not only from my organization, even having born in Kerala, and brought up, I have seen that, have the privilege of growing up with a sense of, pride of being a woman. My grandmother was also like, a local panchayat level. She used to fight elections and ensure that water, sanitation, basic amenities reach the villages and all. So women, have a very important role. Even if when you go and say stand, they have that one is very important aspect they have is multitasking. They can do many things at a time. Most many things at a time. I would really encourage all girls to take up technology. When we were having family and with our career, it was very difficult to juggle between family and, you have to leave a 3-month-old baby at home with parents or somebody or a daycare. But now with the so many work from home and, flexi hours, you can sit at do at your own pace and finish it. There are a lot of opportunities for women, and easiest is technology. I still feel that anybody should definitely, get into this field and make more and more women. Engineering was basically more, you could only see one girl, she's always sitting in the front row. That's how engineering colleges had been, but now it's not that. Many girls are coming into it, and we have good engineers, cybersecurity experts. In supply chain also, we have a lot of women coming ahead. And I think technology is a good option, and I would encourage all the girls out there to, do their best, study well, and, so many opportunities of online courses. Your peers, you can learn, you can know. When we were studying, we didn't know how a foreign university would look like and what kind of courses they were offering. But now everything is so easily available thanks to technology. And I see, I would look forward for so many government schemes of encouraging women and contributing towards technology is really appreciable. With this, I thank you all for, giving me time to express my views.
Honor, and we'll come back to you. Please don't go away. I'd love to, ask you about online opportunities for women's education and so on, but we'll come back to you. Okay.
Sure.
Do you want to start?
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We're moving on to the arts and culture women. And the Betio sisters singing quartet from Nagaland. Indians love their contemporary brand of cool folk, as increasingly young people are discovering and taking pride in their roots and culture. There is also, as Mercy says, a culture of exploration and acceptance. So, our question to Mercy from Tetsio Sisters is related to women artists, especially those from regional states with rich cultural traditions. So, Mercy, can you tell us how do you promote yourself nationally to a wider audience?
Hello, Barnali. Hello,
Hi,
Shivo. And all
Mercy.
the wonderful there. It's a very good afternoon. Happy Women's Day.
Yes, Mercy, go ahead.
Thank you. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, we can. We can.
Well, just reiterating what Usha ji was saying, technology has really enabled and empowered women in ways and means that you couldn't even imagine. For, look at me, someone sitting in Kohima right now. I'm even outside Kohima, somewhere in the Zotsoma village. And through technology, I'm able to communicate with all of you. And this is how I've been also sharing my music and my stories. And yeah, you say it's pretty kind of very regional in that sense, because we're so far away from the rest of the country, and we have experienced life for a long time. But yeah, thanks to technology, and I would say the cultural music of our region has been really driven by women since time immemorial, but it's been more recent that more women are able to come to the forefront, because we are in a way no longer dictated by distances and the limitations that distance plays on people, because technology has somehow helped us to connect with audiences in the farthest south of the country, or even in people as far as Kashmir. And that's how we have been trying to be really active in social media and using whatever technology is available out there, whether it's to stream music online through YouTube or Instagram or any other platform that allows us to reach our maximum audience. And I think a lot of people have drawn inspiration from that as well, because we have been really active on social media and trying to encourage people to put their music and their art out there on digital platforms, so that more and more people can see the music, the art, and the rich cultural tapestry that the Northeast boasts of, and so that there'll be more, interaction between the rest of the country and the northeastern regions as well. So yeah, that's what we've been doing, and we hope our journey inspires more and more women, artists, and girls in general to come out there and really, really get themselves seen and heard.
Thank you, Mercy. And I won't let you go till I hear your beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mercy, just sing 2 lines for us. We want to hear your beautiful voice.
What would you like me to sing?
A popular folk song?
Well, so today is, of course, we're celebrating women. So I have to sing about a beautiful woman who was supposed to be the epitome of beauty, which is not just the physical beauty, but the kindness of hearts and a beautiful outlook towards life, and always being hospitable and kind. Hiya he, no hanele, hiya keveninele. Hiole, hiala helia joy, vesetole, hiala vesetole, hiya hey, hiya hey, hiya hey, shamazma, hiya de dahanele, hiole, hiala helia joy, hiya hey.
Wonderful.
Wow, wonderful.
Wow,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, next, Shubha, okay. We have Maitri B. Chaudhary, who's a Bangalore-based poet and writer. She has 3 critically acclaimed books to her credit and has been nominated for the Crossword Book Awards. She is also an organizer of the high-profile Bengaluru Poetry Festival and fiction editor of the Bangalore Review, an international literary journal. So our question to Maitri is related to women in art. Maitri, there are many stories waiting to be told to a wider audience, especially regional voices. How do we enable, empower women to start telling their stories? Your thoughts?
Am I audible?
Yes, Maitri.
Yeah, I'm privileged to be here. I've been hearing all that these lovely ladies have had to say. And I'd like to begin with what Dr. Rohini just mentioned. She's one of her lines were, "Women are natural listeners." I think in the creative line and in the arts and creatives, listening is one of the most important aspects. And women, I think, I don't really want to categorize this as literature as a woman thing, but I think women are generally better listeners than men. Men might of course disagree, but women are, I think, better listeners because very naturally we play a very subtle role within the family, and I think we grow up to listen to a lot of things and absorb a lot of things that is going on around the house to begin with, and then around the world, of course, which I think in a way prepares us for things and for a better narrative of the stories that we go on to tell or go on to even listen to. Like somebody else also mentioned that women have been at the forefront of culture and the arts and the creatives in our country for a very long time now. It's not a new phenomenon at all. It's been going on for a while, but it's just that maybe it's taken women a little time to come into focus. But history shows there have been so many women in both arts and literature, who have done so well for themselves. As for your question, Bornali, of how to tell better stories and how to tell the stories which are integral to women, I think, because I come from a literary background.
I'll just add to that. Especially regional women's voices. Yeah.
Yeah. So regional, I'm glad you mentioned that because, when we say a writer's voice, it always reflects and harks back upon the language. So whether it is Malayali, whether it is Bangla, whether it is Assamese or Nagamese or whichever language, a woman speaks her language the best, the language that she's brought up to. That language, so women writers over the years have imbibed their stories through these languages. And if you look at, because I was born in the Northeast, and have lived all over the country. So we had women writers like Mamang Dai, Mamoni Raisam Goswami, and Amrita Pritam, of course. Then in Malayali we had Kamala Das, and these women have been such iconic figures in Indian cultural landscape. So there's no escaping their stories, and their stories have played a very prominent role, in describing the stories of other women. So it's through their stories, through their journeys, which they have, brought forward, that other women have connected to them, found strength, and gone on to, maybe better their lives in some way or the other. When we read, to take the example of an international writer, Maya Angelou, when we read the poems of Emily Dickinson, or when we read the poems of Amrita Pritam, or Kamala Das, it gives us so much courage. Even as a woman in the 21st century, there are the battles that a woman fights are endless and ever going. It's I mean, you can ask any of the women in this panel, and they'll have fought battles internally in many men probably have no clue about. So the battles are so much more on an everyday basis. Forget going outside and battling it out. Even on an everyday basis, it's a very very it's a very big struggle for a woman. So in the field of literature, telling those stories are very important through literature. And in this regard, I'd also like to mention that the world of publishing, especially in Indian publishing context, has also had a very interesting line of women publishers, not only women writers, but women publishers who have, given voice to women writers. We have the Kali imprint from Urvashi Butalia's publishing house. We have Kartika Nair, who ran HarperCollins for the longest time. We have Chiki Sarkar, who opened up Juggernaut, and revolutionized the short story, so to say. So these women, and I speak not only as a writer, but you must see the publishing industry as a whole if you are to see the realm of writing and culture. So all of it together gives that much needed lift to the world of literature. So that's how, that's the only way to go forward, really.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing such insight into writing, literature. Our next, star on this panel is Poonam Kaul, and Poonam has been, helping out MyGov in the past. She's from the brand side. Okay, I will not get into her many achievements. She's very famous in advertising, media, and so on. Okay, but broadly, she's a brand evangelist with both consumer enterprise experience for over 22 years. And she's a storyteller. Essentially, she's a storyteller. She's a filmmaker. She's got into the Oscars 2020 eligibility list. She started a communication platform recently, helping a lot of, she's created a lot of COVID related literature films, etc., some of which we have used, right? So our question to her is related to women communicators. So just give a water.
Yeah.
Shubham? I think some problem with his connection. So Poonam, maybe you can start with your story.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you to MyGov, Abhishek sir, and Shubham team to have invite me in this esteemed panel. It's a proud privilege to be here and listen to stories from all the wonderful women out here. And a happy Women's Day to all of you. I think Shubho was talking about the fact that I've been in communication and brand and building. I've really been building brands over the last couple of years. But the last 2 years, we focused a lot on. Oh, Shubho is back. Shubho, I'll wait for your question. I'll wait for your question.
Yeah, I am so sorry. I think we dropped out at some
Yes.
point. I'll ask you very quickly,
Sure.
which is how do women in the social good sector communicate better with mass audiences? So sorry, we dropped it for a few minutes.
No problem, no problem. So, like I mentioned earlier, I have been working on COVID-related projects over the last 2 years since COVID started. Coincidentally, I was heading marketing at Apple, and 31st March 2020 was my last day there, and then COVID happened. So I set up something called Ek Desh, which was really, if you remember those days of COVID, when we were all struggling with what to do, what masks, what does social distancing mean? I mean, we don't even understand that concept. So we worked a lot. We set up, like I said, Ek Desh as a communication platform. And one of the big things that we did there was really drive the communication via the women. So, for example, masking, everybody was talking about masking at, one point in time, right? From Prime Minister Modi to all the celebrities. But people weren't really masking up. So we did figured that 92%, there was 92% compliance awareness and only 44% compliance, and various reasons, discomfort, disbelief, all of those. So, we worked on some pilots at that time. Really, what the essence of this platform is, the Nari Shakti. We actually worked on that as a concept, and that gave us some wonderful results where we went and adopted villages. And we started with about 10 villages, and we worked with the women there to drive the concept of masking as a discipline. So, we something very simple, like, asking women, when you put a rangoli, make that rangoli your Lakshman Rekha. And so it was almost like women stepping up, and we call them rakshikas. They became the champions of change, and they stood up and said, na main niklungi na kisi ko nikalne dungi mask ke bagair. So that became and we did various things around it, like the whole concept was around corona soldiers. So it was main Verma Khandan ki corona soldier, and I will protect my family, and I will ensure that my family, no one steps out of this Lakshman Rekha. We called it Project Rekha at that time. And there have been lots of, and we got 100% masking in those villages, and then we moved to the next set of villages, and we were doing this across the country. So I think if I step back, women have a huge role to play, both in marketing, in communication, and in the social sector. And if you want to drive behavior change, I firmly believe that women can do that. I am like, I was listening to Rohini ma'am. I have all my life, I've been very, very gender agnostic. I think it's the talent that, in a corporate talent that is important rather than the gender. But in certain fields, I think leveraging your gender to bring about that extra, I think that's what helps. So here, if I think of Project Rekha, it was leveraging the listening capacity of the women. So everybody was listening to the concept of masking, but it was the women who were listening more and reacting to that. It was the women who were stepping up and saying that I will do this and I will ensure that people follow. And I think that's what, even in marketing, you see, I would say bringing that extra as a
woman is extra dimension as a woman. That is what is important, whether as a listener, whether as a collaborator, whether as helping build relationships. Again, if I go back to this concept of rakshikas, it were the rakshikas who were going out and they weren't incentivized. All we were giving them was masking and some literature to spread the word. So this was really about saying ye important hai aur main ye karungi. Or I think that's where I say the listening capacity of women is much, much higher. And I see that a lot in behavior change programs as well. I hope I answered your question.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Am I audible, Poonam?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was very inspiring. And I'm sure a lot of, young communicators in the social sector, the social good will remember your words. Okay. Now we're going to move on to startups, broadly speaking. And
we have a woman really, a village level entrepreneur, Krishna Borude. So a little bit about her, I'll tell you.
I'll just interrupt. Yeah. So when we hear about entrepreneurs and startups, we immediately think of, fancy, startups with billion-dollar valuations and so on. But that's not true. There's an entire country of women entrepreneurs in the, not just smaller cities and towns, but across India. One of them is, one of them.
I think you can switch that on.
Okay. Sorry.
Can you hear?
One second.
Thank you.
You got two devices on.
Are both your devices?
Sorry, glitch. I mean, there was a little break. Sorry, it's just one of those days. So I was just saying, one of them is a lady who's here. Her name is Krishna Borude, born Barnali. She is a village level entrepreneur also called a BLE. And she is, she works out of something called, a network of CSCs, Common Service Centers. These are small units set up by the government, which have a, very good internet connection. So all government services primarily are kind of, you find all these at the village level centers. It's like a small booth sometimes, right? So, and it's, spawned an entire generation of very small entrepreneurs who have grown from strength to strength, right? All digitally connected, right? So, Barnali, just go ahead. Krishna ji, can you turn your video on?
Krishna ji,
I can see her there, right?
Is she here? I don't see her.
I don't see her. So we can move on to the.
Okay. We'll wait for her. In the meantime, we'll just move on to something we call, there's this Nari Shakti challenge winner. So Nari Shakti is, it's an online competition of startups, and MyGov was privileged to host one of these recently, and it had a lot of Nari Shakti startups. These are all with startup ideas, as the name suggests, Nari Shakti. Okay, it was a challenge, and we've got the winners out here, and I'm very privileged to introduce to you Dr. Gaitra Pamidpati, then Shivi Kapil, Jaya, and Ankita Parashar. So, Dr. Gayatri, can you turn on your video? Dr. Gayatri, Shivi Kapil, can we see you, please?
Yes, Dr. Gayatri is here. Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can just turn on your video, please.
She's on.
Yeah, my video is on, yes.
Okay, great. So, Dr. Gayatri's life sciences works, and her company, her startup, organizes and develops agricultural and home-based products with the use of plant extracts, replacing synthetic chemicals. So I remember your presentation, and it was fantastic. And congratulations once again for being a winner at the Nari Shakti Challenge winners. So, Dr. Gayatri, can you tell us a little bit about your journey as a woman entrepreneur?
Okay, and let me first thank you for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this. I feel privileged, and happy women, the empowered women here. And to start with, see, as Dr. Rohini said, I never considered myself as a woman or a girl maybe because the way my parents told me or the society around said, you are a person, you are a human who can achieve, you are empowered and you can do what you want to do. And I think I'm a great follower of Swami Vivekananda. So I believe that I am the person who needs to decide my destiny, not somebody outside there. I have to decide my destiny. I think that is what actually guided me all through my life. And whatever steps I have taken in my life has been because of these two principles, which are completely imbibed in me. So I don't consider myself as a woman, I consider myself as an entrepreneur or as a research scientist who is trying to do something which I consider myself as a purpose of my life. Though I realized it a little later in my life because I worked with synthetic chemicals all through my life. Being a doctorate in chemistry, synthetic chemicals were always with me, and I have been a postdoctoral researcher. I worked with companies where nanotechnology was very prominent. But the turning point for my life was in 2003, SARS broke in Taiwan. And I was in Taiwan as a postdoctoral researcher, and my daughter was 1 year old. And surprisingly, the Indians who were all there, we never were affected by the SARS. So there used to be jokes saying that you guys live in gutters, so your immunity is very high, so you're all prone to these viruses. But it is, I feel, is our lifestyle, our food habits, our little things, what our grandfathers or grandmothers have taught us to do, whether it is in our food or the way we live around or the trees we grow. So those are the things that have, I feel, has protected us. So I started researching on it. What is the background of it? And I realized our samhitas or the Ayurvedas have given so much of information which speaks about sustainability, which we are speaking again right now in a very different way. So we went back, did a research on that, brought out those stuff. And then what we realized is, so COVID is actually an opportunity to us. I shouldn't say this, but it was an opportunity to us because we thought of protecting from germ and pest in 2003. And we started developing products for that. Because later on, we had dengue, we had the Zika virus, we had all sorts of these pest and germ coming up. So then we realized it is not killing the virus or killing the pest. We need to boost the immunity of the person who is using it. So we started producing products which addresses boosting the immunity of the person along with controlling the germ or the pest. So we have a range of products which addresses agriculture because we see the root causes from agriculture. The soil is unfertile, the food comes from there is unfertile. So we started with agriculture, moved on to our and then our interiors where we have lots of toxins and chemicals. And then we moved on to our textiles, what we wear. So we have built a range of products which addresses the immunity of a person, starting from the food to our personal care to the environment. So right now we have 144 products. During COVID, as I said, it was an opportunity. We had a lot of, export opportunities coming up, but then logistics became a huge issue for us because of, the closure of the airports or the transportation. So that is when we took a decision of moving to Europe and establishing our Netherlands facility there. I just came back from Netherlands on 4th. I relocated myself to Netherlands to increase our operations there or set up our operations there. And it is by accident. We have not done anything specific for this. My team is 60% women. So, and the operations is completely handled by the woman. And I feel, yes, if I set back the aspect that I don't consider myself as a woman, I still feel proud to be woman because there are certain USPs in women which actually brings it in this for the men who are around here. So it brings it out like, we are very good at multitasking. We are very empathetic to what is happening, and we can do firefighting. And though the world doesn't believe, we are great finance managers because give us 10 rupees, we can run the house. Give us 100 rupees, we can run the house with the same. If efficiency. So whether it is 1 rupee to 100 rupees, the efficiency with us is the same. So we are very good finance managers, and we are very good strategists, because we know how to spend that money, where to spend that money, and how well to spend that money, and how well to use the resources we have with us. So we are very good with us, with all that. So I feel women are more empowered, and we don't, nobody has to tell us that we are empowered. We ourselves know that.
Okay. Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you so much. And before I move on to the next Sri Shakti winner, I don't think I did justice to she explained a little more. So, during COVID, MyGov launched, a solution challenge on the MyGov on the platform, which saw a huge response from startups, entrepreneurs like Gayatri, in the field of bioinformatics, data sets, apps for diagnosis, etc. These were all in the fight against Corona, right? And the partners for Shri Shakti were UN Women. It was under the program We Empower Asia, supported by the European Union. So this is an annual thing, and it was huge. This was COVID. This impact had a huge impact, and we are all proud to be associated with people like Gayatri. So the next Sri Shakti winner I will introduce to you is Ankita Parashar. Ankita, are you there? Can you turn on your video, please? Ankita Parashar.
Yes, it's on.
I don't know if your mother's also around, Jaya. And, so Ankita and Jaya are, mother and daughter, very interesting. So this duo are the founders of Stream Minds. It's an edtech company that works on promoting technology, science, maths, reading, writing, and arts education amongst children. So this is very interesting tech space. So our question to you is, now that hopefully COVID is, kind of, at least things are better now than a year before, much, much better. 97-98% of India is vaccinated, first dose at least, young people are getting vaccinated. Now, technology, this video call, for example, got into our lives in a huge way. It's helped a lot of students, college students, school students, some were left out, unfortunately, but it helped a lot of young people to, get back into studies, stay in touch regularly. Okay. Now, moving forward, do you think EdTech has really with COVID, and is it going to, move to the next level and the next level after that, especially with people like StreamMinds, companies like StreamMinds? Go ahead, please.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, what we are seeing is perhaps the birth of EdTech, and the progress of EdTech during the pandemic time has been absolutely exponential, to the point where perhaps a lot of the teachers and the students involved weren't prepared with the infrastructure, yet the situation forced them to adapt new and exciting or interesting measures to be included in this progress rate. And as far as the future of EdTech is concerned, AI is already part of the CBSE curriculum. So you have that integrated into it. You have companies like StreamMinds that are working tirelessly to integrate or to show them that there is a relevance, and then there is an interconnectivity between what they are seeing around, what they're experiencing, and science and technology, which sound like really confusing and big words, but it's not really such, that is not really the situation. If you break it down, if you start them young, if you explain it to them in the form of, say, for example, stories about the electricity that they see, or how is the fan working, why is the sky blue, why are all the traffic signals in the world always yellow and green. If you tell them the science behind that in simplistic storytelling manner, you can see that a first grader will suddenly know, okay, he will go ask his parents, do you guys know why is the sky blue? And the parents will have no idea. Okay, they're both working. They are working at really good positions in companies. So of course, I'm not saying that they are not aware of it, or they're not good at science, but it's just that these things are not really taught in the mainstream education system. But the pandemic has forced educational institutions to wake up to the challenges of what is the unpredictability of situations. I mean, we were always so confident that movies, healthcare, and education is something. These are, they are resilient industries that no matter what happens, people will always go to school, they will always require hospitals, they will always require entertainment. And all these channels, all these industries had to adapt to the new way. Now you have doctors giving you consultation over video calls, right? You don't even have to go to the clinics. You are having classrooms right over Zoom. And, you're having Netflix, and movie theaters have now gone out of business because everybody's sitting at home and watching movies. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask you, which is the internet, creating more jobs for young women, especially in regional corners of the country?
Absolutely, they are. As a matter of fact, we've seen quite a lot of them now asking to be given cell phones. So it's not just them using the QWERTY keyboards where you had just ABCDs on 1, 2, and 3. Now they want smartphones. They want to be interactive. They want to go to you on YouTube. They want to see cooking channels. A lot of them, in fact, I have a relative of my own who started her own YouTube channel on, around cooking, and she thoroughly enjoys it. It's another way for her to keep herself busy. It's not like she is doing that for any monetary gain, but she has a passion and she wants to see where it can take her. Alternatively, we also have women that have purposely gone out and purchased technology which will make them more tech savvy, which will make their interaction and the operations easier so that they can cut down on manpower costs, so they can automate all of these things. In fact, our own solution for COVID was designed around the same thing. We are working on automating all the non-medical tasks that happen in and around a hospital to give nurses and paramedical staff a little more free time. I always ask this question to people whenever we are presenting our product. Have you ever seen a nurse sitting down? Can you picture a nurse? Is she sitting down or standing up? Right? They are constantly on their feet. And this pertinent problem. 75% of the nursing staff, not just in India, but the world over, comprises of women. So having something like this, having robotics as a solution, which is looked at as a cold cut technology, if you have that deployed within hospitals, not just in India, but around the world, you are going to give them the free time, or the time rather, that they deserve to focus on tasks which they have studied to do, which are all the medical related tasks. They can sit down, which is really, really important for them. So not just the internet, not just technology, there are companies experimenting with robots as teachers. It is really far-fetched. It's something that is good to see in sci-fi movies, but in practicality, we still have a long way to go. But what we are seeing is we are at the beginning of looking at how education can be approached in a dynamic format. So you have a lot of virtual schools that are coming up, which are entirely online. And anybody from Trivandrum to Jammu and Kashmir can sit online and take classes. They can give exams on it. They can give test preparations in science and technology on that. So there are a lot of cool things happening, and perhaps it's just a waiting game. And a lot of women are obviously participating in this revolution, to say. So yeah, I think exciting things are ahead for all of us. Also, a very happy Women's Day for everyone. Sorry, it should have led with that.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Very heartening to know of the opportunities for women in this country via the internet. So I think Anuradha Borode has come back. Krishna Borode has come back. The village level entrepreneur I was talking about. We're very happy to have you.
Sure. कृष्णा जी नमस्ते.
कृषि आपका वीडियो ऑन कीजिए प्लीज. कृष्णा जी.
ओके सर.
हाँ.
नमस्ते.
नमस्कार.
नमस्कार सर. नमस्कार. मैं कृष्णा बुरुडे, महाराष्ट्र, जलगांव में पाचोरा में रहती हूँ. मैं सीएससी के साथ 2014 से जुड़ी हूँ.
हाँ, तो जरा मैं ऑडियंस को बता दूं कि आप with an idea to improve women's health by allowing easy access to and quality sanitary napkins in villages of Jalgaon district Village level entrepreneur Krishna Borude has started a napkin manufacturing unit at her CSC in Pachora block of the district. So the unit manufactures 500 to 600 sanitary napkins on a daily basis. मैम इसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए कि इससे कैसे सहायता मिली है लड़कियों को जो ग्रामीण इलाके में रहती हैं।
एक्चुअली मैम यानी मैं 2009 से एनजीओ थी, जो एनजीओ ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट फाउंडेशन है, उसके साथ में हम 2009 से विभिन्न यानी अलग अलग सेक्टर में काम कर रहे थे। तो इसके साथ में जब हम 2014 में सीएससी के साथ जुड़े तो सीएससी ने हमें बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे हमें इंकरेज किया, हमने उस पर वर्किंग शुरू किया। जैसे हमने सैनिटरी नैपकिन पे काम करना शुरू किया तो सैनिटरी में विलेज में इस बारे में बहुत अवेयरनेस करना पड़ा। स्टार्टिंग में लोगों को ये बात पसंद नहीं आती थी कि हम ये बारे में क्यों डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, इसमें बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स हुए। आप लोग ये जो घर की बातें हैं, ये माहौल आपने बाहर क्यों लाया, इस तरह से हमें लोगों से बहुत सारी बातें सुननी पड़ी। जैसे जैसे हमने इस बारे में डिस्कस करना शुरू किया, हमने हर गांव में जाके हर एरिया में जाके लोगों से इस बारे में महिलाओं से बात की। पहले तो खुलकर कोई बात करने को तैयार नहीं था। जैसे जैसे हमने उनसे बात करना शुरू किया, धीरे धीरे महिलाएं फिर हमसे बात करने लगी, इंटरेक्ट होने लगी। हेलो हेलो,
हाँ जी बोलिए बोलिए बोलिए।
हाँ मैम मेरे हाँ, फिर ग्राउंड लेवल पे जैसे गांव में लोग महिलाएं इस बारे में बात करने से, हमारे साथ भी बात करने से हिचकी जाती थी। जैसे जैसे उनसे हमने अप्रोच किया, धीरे धीरे महिलाएं खुलकर बात करने लगी। और हमारा जो नैपकिन है, सैनिटरी नैपकिन का जो यहाँ पे हमने शुरू किया है सेंटर, तो इसमें महिलाएं रोज 1000 से 1200 तक सैनिटरी नैपकिन बनाती है। इसमें 6 महिलाएं यहाँ पे वर्किंग भी कर रही है, महिलाओं को रोजगार भी मिला। और बाकी जो महिलाएं हैं वो हर जगह जाके, अब हमारे साथ में काम करने वाली जो महिलाएं हैं वो हर इस बारे में पूरी एजुकेटेड है कि सैनिटरी नैपकिन क्या है और महिलाओं के हेल्थ के लिए हमें क्या क्या करना चाहिए। तो जो हमारे यहाँ पे स्वीपर का काम करती है वो महिला भी अब हर घर जाके महिलाओं को इस बारे में अवेयरनेस करती है, बताती है, और उन्हें सैनिटरी नैपकिन हम हर महीने प्रोवाइड भी करते हैं। बहुत सारी महिलाएं वो सेंटर पे आके अब सैनिटरी नैपकिन लेने भी लग गई है। और महिलाएं अगर उनको कुछ प्रॉब्लम भी होगा तो वो हमसे एज वो हमें ऐसा समझते कि ये डॉक्टर है, ये हमें कुछ बता सकते हैं इस बारे में। इस बारे में हमने यूट्यूब पे कई सारे गायनोकोलॉजिस्ट से बात करके बहुत सारी जानकारी हासिल। महिलाएं घर पे थोड़े थोड़े जो बेसिक कुछ चीजें हैं वो घर पे कर सकती है, ऐसी बातें हम उनको बताते हैं। हमारे यहाँ पे रूरल में एक गांव है मैडम, जहाँ पे हमने स्कूल के बच्चों को अवेयरनेस किया, तो उसमें 70% लड़कियां ऐसी थी कि उनको गायनोकोलॉजिस्ट को ही दिखाना पड़ेगा, इतने उनका प्रॉब्लम्स था। तो सीएससी ने हमें हेल्थ में भी बहुत सपोर्ट किया है। तो जब इन्हें हमने हेल्थ का कैंप लगाया, उसके साथ में सैनिटरी के बारे में उनसे बात की, अभी वो लड़कियां खुल के हमसे बात भी करते हैं। और सैनिटरी नैपकिन हमारे यानी पूरे ऑल ओवर जलगांव डिस्ट्रिक्ट से लेके अभी ऑल ओवर महाराष्ट्र में हम सैनिटरी नैपकिन प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं। हमारे यहाँ से हर जगह पे हमने कुरियर भी करते हैं और प्रोवाइड भी करते हैं।
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Very inspiring. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
With that,
we'll ask one question, the same question to everyone. Basically, what is your message for young women?
हाँ, तो हम सबसे पूछना चाहते हैं एक मैसेज जो आप सब महिलाएं देना चाहती हैं आप जैसे और महिलाओं को जो देश के कोने कोने में हैं, जो ये प्रोग्राम को देख कर रही हैं। We will start with Dr. Rohini Srivatsa.
Sure, I would just say become lifelong learners. हमेशा सीखते रहिए, हमेशा पढ़ते रहिए, आगे सीखते रहिए।
Thank you, ma'am. Usha से
Never say no. Never say no. ये मेरे से नहीं होगा।
जी जी
होगा, जरूर होगा।
Thank you so much. Mercy.
I would just say, think of yourself as a human being. Don't think of yourself as a woman, as a weaker section of the society. Just you can do anything that anybody else can do.
Right, Mercy. Thank you so much. And Mercy, can you hear us?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, go ahead.
My message would be: do not let religion or anything limit you. Don't put yourself in a box. There are no limits. Everything can happen. So the possibilities are endless. Go for it.
I would say believe in yourself.
Thank
That's
you.
the most
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Vinesh Phogat.
Vinesh ji.
I think they have Vinesh and Avni and all, they are no longer here.
Okay, Ekta is there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Ekta.
Yeah, the message will be always have faith in yourself. It is usually seen that we are so critical about ourselves. There is nothing, you are always enough, and nothing can stop you.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Okay.
With that, we come to an end of our program.
You are enough is such a wonderful thing to remember. Thank you, Ekta.
Thank you.
Good. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you.
I will just hand over to our CEO, President and CEO, Abhishek sir, to sum up.
And we'll play a short video.
Video
Hopefully,
after that, yeah.
hopefully it will come after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sir, please go ahead to sum up. Yeah.
There's hardly anything. Listening to all these amazing women have been like so inspiring that if we can just like screenshot or snapshot the words or the things spoken towards the end or during the course of discussion, that will keep on inspiring us for the rest of the year till the next Women's Day comes. So thank you all for giving such deep insights, and each one of you have an experience, but what is common along is that yes, as Ekta said, that we are enough, and the women and the kind of women we have interacted with today, the diverse fields, it all shows that that there are no limits. Like when it comes to women to achieve what she wants to. Yes, our country has been traditionally known to in many families discourage women, but in spite of that, we see women coming up and establishing themselves in any way, any walk of life. And as we see, whether it's sports or whether it's music or whether it's writing or whether it's tech or whether it's being an entrepreneur and doing social change, as Krishna ji mentioned, every task that we have is like we have a winner in, if we can use that frame. So once again, thank you for doing this. The content that we have got today, I'm sure Shubho must be thinking how best we can use it for the days to come, and videos of the short videos, clippings, blogs with what has been said today will keep us going for a long time, and hopefully will inspire millions of women who are trying to be like one of the women who have been featured here today. So I'm sure this session today will inspire many more, and we will have the next group of women who have been inspired by the leaders today coming up on MyGov in the days to come. So thank you all for doing this, and it's indeed been a pleasure, and look forward to working with you, learning from you, and interacting with you further in the days to come.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank
Before
you.
the end, we have been getting a lot of questions from the audience today. We just have time to take one, and my question is to कृष्णा बोरुडे जी, अगर आप सुन पा रही हैं हमें,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
एक चीज बताइए, आपकी फैमिली में क्या सपोर्ट मिला है? What role has your family played आपके सक्सेस में?
मैम, मेरे फैमिली से मुझे पूरा सपोर्ट मिला। स्टार्टिंग में जब मैंने ये वर्किंग शुरू किया तो मेरे हस्बैंड बोल रहे थे ठीक है, अगर आपको कुछ करना है, तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था कि जब एक लड़की पैदा होती है तो उसे उसके पिताजी के नाम से जाना जाता है, उसकी शादी होती है तो फिर उसके पति के नाम से उसे जाना, तो हमें हमारा क्यों अलग अस्तित्व क्यों नहीं है कि नहीं, ये एक ह्यूमन बीइंग, एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग हमें भी हमारा कुछ अस्तित्व मिलना चाहिए। ये मेरे पहले से ऐसी ये थी, सोच थी। तो मुझे मेरे हस्बैंड ने पूरा सपोर्ट किया, मेरे फैमिली से मेरे बच्चों ने मुझे पूरा सपोर्ट किया। साथ में जहाँ पे मैं काम करती थी, वहाँ के सर ने मुझे बहुत सपोर्ट किया, गोकुल, सोनार सब। उन्होंने मुझे बोला कि मैम, अगर आपको आज कुछ करना है तो आप खुल के कुछ चीज़ें कर सकती हैं। मुझे जैसे-जैसे मैं वर्किंग के लिए बाहर निकलती गई, लोगों से मुझे बहुत सारी बातें सुननी पड़ी, लेकिन मैं पीछे नहीं हटी। मैंने ठान लिया था कि अगर मुझे कुछ करना है, तो मुझे ये सब बातें सुननी पड़ेगी, और अपना अगर कुछ अलग बनाना है अस्तित्व, तो इन सभी बातों से हट के अगर कुछ करना है, तो करना पड़ेगा। मुझे
थैंक यू, थैंक यू। नहीं बोलिए
मुझे उन सारी औरतों के लिए काम करना है जिनको ऐसा लगता है कि हम कुछ कर नहीं सकते। बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स थे, सीएससी ने हमें बहुत सपोर्ट किया। जो भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम आती थी तो अगर हम उनसे बात करते थे तो वो बहुत इंकरेज किया, क्या मैम आप कर सकते हो, कोई बातें होती है तो आप लोग हमें बता सकते हो। हम ग्राउंड लेवल पे जाके जहाँ जहाँ पे हमने गए, अभी सैनिटरी नैपकिन लेके हम जब गांव में गए तो लोगों ने हमारे ऊपर दे मारे, वो नैपकिन ये क्यों लेके आए आप। लेकिन ये सभी बातें सुनने के बाद भी हम रुके नहीं, हम आगे बढ़ते गए। हमारे साथ में और लेडीज जुड़ती गई, बीसी सखी, डीजीपे सखी, इसमें हमने बहुत सारी महिलाओं को ट्रेनिंग भी दिया। साथ में मैंने उनको उनका भी सीएससी सेंटर खोल के दिया। अभी गांव में, हर गांव में, हमारे पाचोरा तालुके के हर गांव में हर एक ऐसी लेडीज है वो जो सीएससी सेंटर चला रही है। उन सबके साथ सबको हमने ट्रेनिंग दिया सेंटर पे बुला के कि आप इस तरीके से काम कर सकती हो।
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच
मैम। मैं एक पॉइंट ऐड करना चाहूंगी प्लीज, just a small line. I just want to thank all the women here who are working for the technology, because being a person with disability, technology has really bring miraculous changes in our lives. Either it is in form of digital accessibility or wheelchairs, it has been a miraculous change maker in our lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we are also, we'll take one more minute of your time. Anuradha Pal has just joined us. She's, we have to, kind of hear her because she's a globally, famous tabla virtuoso. Tabla, as you know, is a very male-dominated kind of area, right? You never see or hear a woman tabla player, but here is Anuradha ji, and you want to speak with her?
Hi, ma'am. Can you hear us?
Anuradha ji, can you turn on your video, please?
The video is on mic.
Yeah, now can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you so much for taking out time for us on your busy schedule, and happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day to you, and thank you so much for making this. I was another event and that was a little delayed, so I'm sorry I could delay here. The cascading event. But I told you I'll make it, and I did.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Most grateful. And so let me say about Anuradha, ma'am. Here she has stormed the male bastion as a child prodigy. She overcame chauvinism and discrimination with focused riyas, hard work, and grit, and established herself as a colossus on the percussion firmament and a trendsetter. So our question to her is related to women musicians. Ma'am, as a brand ambassador for Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Yojana, we get more female musicians into a male-dominated area?
I thought of this by presenting Nari Shakti. I created a band in '96, which is called Nari Shakti, which is till date the first all girl Hindustani Carnatic combination band. And this band, actually, the reason I created that was because I was facing a lot of discrimination and all that. So I said, let me provide an opportunity and a platform, which is a collective group. So other girls also get an opportunity to perform. And that's how we are now, even now we are presenting concerts all over the world. In fact, we have a concert coming up now for Sangeet Natak Academy at Jodhpur on this Sunday. So I think some of these efforts have also helped to, because they see that girls are getting opportunity because of Nari Shakti, it has made a lot of change in the way people think. Plus also others which I continue to do, which is one which is a tabla jugalbandi with myself, which is interactive stories on the tabla, which I present rhythmic stories like a dialogue. So there are many ways where also I create some rhythmic innovations, where interactive of how Ramayan or Mahabharat or stories from different epics are presented on the tabla. So which is how some of these efforts have helped to not only promote the Indian culture and music, but also to help women come up. And now you are seeing so many girls coming up in this field.
Thank you.
Because of my effort. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And literally, I had to open the doors out for them, because when you are the first person or the pioneer or whatever, you go through a lot of fire, because people don't want to immediately reject you, especially because I don't come from a musician family. I don't belong to a lineage, and I'm in a male dominated field. So there were so many negatives against me. But I think it's about the attitude. It's about how you dedicate yourself and ultimately it's about the work that you present, and with the passion and the commitment with which you go through life. And in my life, I've always tried my best to take other girls, and not only girls and women, but even folk musicians or lesser known musicians, promote them through my own organization, through different endeavors and awards that I've instituted also for women. And in fact, I'd like to also mention today that I did what was called the I have instituted an award called the Padma Shri MT Vyas Stri Shakti Award, which is basically to encourage girls towards music, dance, and social service. Because as you may know, in the last 2 years, I have also done a lot of social service, helping women with food ration, blankets, and medical supplies across 270 women plus 350 musicians across 20 states in India, because there were no event or things happening in the COVID times. So all these efforts I continue to do, and I'm happy that even I also created the Nari Shakti campaign, which is the song that I did for the WCD ministry, which was basically to where I wrote the lyrics, and the lyrics go like this: कि खुद को तू पहचान दे, खुददारी को चूम
Ma'am, if I may
बढ़कर
interrupt.
अपनी पहचान बना, स्त्री शक्ति की मिसाल बने.
Why don't you sing it, ma'am?
Well, I will leave I will try to play out some clip for you. If you can make me a co-host, I'll play it out for you. Okay. That's a little difficult to do that, I guess.
It's a little difficult. Technically, it's a little difficult.
Yeah. Okay, no problem.
So, thank you very much. Yeah.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you very much.
Thank you so much.
It was wonderful, and it's so inspiring to listen to you and your efforts. And so
thank you, Shubhada.
Thank you. We've come to the end of the program, and we'll end it by. I'm sorry, we're slightly over time. We'll end it with playing the video.
Video
right?
on Nari Shakti, New India.
Yeah.
Can they have the film? Thank you.
देश की नारी शक्ति का नया आत्मविश्वास आज खेल के मैदान से लेकर टेक्नोलॉजी, इनोवेशन, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप और देश सुरक्षा तक में साफ नजर आ रहा है।
कोरोना महामारी के खिलाफ इतनी बड़ी लड़ाई पूरे देश ने लड़ी, इसमें हमारी नर्सेस ने, डॉक्टर्स ने, विमेन साइंटिस्ट ने कितनी बड़ी भूमिका निभाई है। यानी जब भी अवसर मिला है, भारत की नारी शक्ति ने अपने सामर्थ्य को साबित किया है।
महिलाओं के सशक्तिकरण पर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी का विशेष फोकस है। बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ कार्यक्रम को जन आंदोलन बनाकर देश का भविष्य संवारा। वहीं स्वच्छ भारत मिशन के तहत देश के दूर दराज के ग्रामीण इलाकों में भी घर घर शौचालय बनने से महिलाओं को मिला सुरक्षा और सम्मान। उज्ज्वला योजना से गरीब परिवारों की महिलाओं को मिला मुफ्त एलपीजी कनेक्शन और 3 तलाक को गैर कानूनी बनाकर मुस्लिम बहनों को दिलाया उनका अधिकार। प्रधानमंत्री मुद्रा योजना और स्टैंड अप इंडिया स्कीम के तहत महिलाओं की एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को पहचान दिलाते हुए उनके लिए 1 करोड़ रुपए तक की व्यवस्था की गई है। मातृत्व अवकाश बढ़ाकर 26 हफ्ते करना हो, प्रधानमंत्री मातृ वंदना योजना हो या सुकन्या समृद्धि योजना, दीनदयाल अंत्योदय योजना के तहत महिला स्वयं सहायता समूहों को बढ़ावा देना हो, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के तहत महिलाओं को घर का मालिक बनाना हो, जल जीवन मिशन से महिलाओं को पानी के संकट से मुक्ति दिलाना हो, या फिर सैनिक स्कूलों के दरवाजे बेटियों के लिए खोलना। सरकार के लगातार प्रयासों से महिलाओं की गरिमा बढ़ी है। बहनों बेटियों का आत्मविश्वास भी बढ़ रहा है और इस बदलाव का नेतृत्व अब समाज खुद कर रहा है।
Thank you.
Thank you to all our women panelists and for taking out precious time and joining us today on MyGov Samvad. Thank you very much and happy Women's Day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the panelists and
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you Shubhada, Barnali Di, and
Thank you.
Abhishek Dada. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.